Welcome back to another great edition of Back Porch reviews and recap of our college football weekend. It's Back Porch Nate again here, coming to you back live from the back porch, as you can tell with my fancy, beautiful backdrop. If you're on YouTube, you'll see what I'm talking about. Man, what a great college football weekend. It was a long college football weekend with an 11 a.m. kickoff to 10:30 p.m. kickoffs. Excitement throughout the landscape, upsets, great thing. We learned a lot about teams from week 1 to week 2, adjustments teams have made, players that played better. It was a phenomenal day of football, and there was a plenty enough to watch and see how the landscape is gonna shape out in week 3 to week 4. I'm super excited to talk about it and recap about it. Um, we're here for you guys, so you're listening on your way to work tomorrow or during the office time or just chilling at the house. We're here to give you that recap. Big week coming up. We're gonna have a couple more episodes. Our preview for week 3, our pick 'em for week 3. Again, the Back Porch Overs Club had a phenomenal betting plays weekend. And it's gonna be me and my boy FPI Killer, aka Jake, on the back porch. How are you, big dog? How was your
What up?
weekend, big man? What up, bud?
Ooh, yesterday was a long college football day, especially as an Auburn
Oof.
fan. That 10:30 kick was brutal, but I did go to sleep because I had to work today. Woke up to the best sight ever, and that's a dub. Doesn't matter
Dub
what it
on
looked
the.
like.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters, man. Getting them dubs, no matter what time of the clock it was, man. It was a that was a marathon yesterday for sure,
Yeah,
especially
it
for
was.
SEC because the first SEC game was Vanderbilt, which they gave Wake Forest everything they could. We're huge. We thought I had them winning. I thought Vandy um, had a little bit more in their tank, but they could probably get a win here or there. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe Florida or somebody in SEC who's slipping.
we'll
Who's
see. We'll
slipping?
see.
We'll see. Yeah, man. It was definitely a really good weekend for sure if you're just a fan of college football. Um,
hmm
the scenes at the Colorado Nebraska game were something that you expect, to see year 2, year 3 with Colorado, and you're seeing it week 2 in the program, and and that just gets me going into like our overreaction, underreaction. I can say I'm overreacting, but they're backing it up. Their offense is legit. Um, I would say their offense is a top 10, top 25 in the nation. Their defense is a bottom 25 in the nation.
That's
So,
true.
which yeah, it's true, and it makes because they're in the Pac-12, it makes it fun to watch for them. Means they're gonna be competitive in all majority of every game they're gonna be in this year, barring injuries in depth. But their coaching staff's legit. I'm not gonna lie. 2 week, 2 weeks in a row, seeing the numbers that Sanders has thrown week after week it's pretty impressive. Um, Obviously, to see them hunker down on Nebraska and get turnovers and play some tough defense against a mediocre Nebraska team, honestly, I thought it was good. That's my overreaction at the moment. I mean, there's some other ones, but what did you see in the first couple games during the noon kickoff to 1 p.m. kickoffs?
I was working, so I couldn't really. I had to watch on my phone, so I just chose the Colorado Nebraska game because that's
Chose a
we
good
had to
one.
pick them. Yeah, we had to pick them out there, and I chose
Hmm.
Colorado. Not a Colorado hype trainer, but I'm not a hater. I was one of the ones this summer that said, obviously Auburn was looking for a head coach, and Dion was in that conversation for a little bit. I was the first
Yeah.
one to say, yeah, I wouldn't mind him, but he's got to have personnel around him to be
Hmm.
successful, and he's done that.
Oh,
So
you can tell.
that train keeps going. They'll be good. But that was a great game to tune into. I was not really upset that that's the game I chose to watch. It was exciting. Travis Hunter, right? He's
Hmm.
unfreaking
The kid,
believable.
kid's a freak, man. He's a
Yeah,
freak. He's
and
a freak. He he's gonna eventually have to pick a side, and he's gonna be all
yeah,
pro in whatever side he picks. So
correct.
yeah.
It's whoever's paying the most in the league.
Hmm.
Um, But then Sanders, you said it. Sanders looked great, but to me, for Colorado right now, their first game they played TCU, who had zero, and I mean zero defense, but could
Mhm.
score all over Colorado. And then flip to this week, it was the complete opposite. Nebraska
Yeah.
had a decent defense. Obviously, they wore out over time because Deion's offense is go 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 fast, as lightning fast as you can, and Nebraska it doesn't have a great offense
Yeah,
yet.
they
They're
don't
gonna
yeah.
they're gonna get there. Year 2, 3 under him, they'll
Mhm.
be looking great. So I want to see Colorado. I want to see them when they play a team that has a good offense and at least a decent defense. I don't know what maybe outside of Oregon and Utah, they're not going to see a great defense in the Pac-12.
Yeah, I mean, USC's defense is Swiss cheese. UCLA's defense actually kinda is impressive. They've only played 2 games, so, they could be mediocre at best, but Washington's D, I would say Washington, Oregon, and Utah, and they have to play those 3. So,
Yeah.
we'll see what they do in that. I see this team getting a bowl game now. I see them at least 6. Their ceiling has moved up to me to 6. Their floor is still 4. Um, they could possibly sneak one of those, like a Washington State game.
Hmm.
Even though Washington State gave Wisconsin the business this weekend, I could still see them playing that. I believe that game's at home in Colorado. They could probably get that as a 7th game. So, if you're listening to us, put that down. Possibly 7. Uh, I'm going with the flow. A lot of people are gonna, don't join the train or whatever. They play nobody. I've watched enough football, and Jake's watched enough football. You can tell and look at a college football team and go, "Yeah, that's a freaking phenomenally talented
Hmm.
offense." And typically, offenses, especially in the Pac-12, if they can score, they're going to win some games. So
Yeah.
they're going to be high scoring games, but that's what the Pac-12 is all about. It's excitement, it's electric, it's fireworks, and that goes with this brand right now. That's what TV wants. That's the hype train going behind what he is doing. And I'm gonna, I mentioned the hot take, the sizzling hot take last week for our listeners who are loyal to us and they listen. The sizzling hot take was what's Dion's done in week 1 has shortened the leash by every new head coach getting a job. And on
It's
top of that,
true.
current coaches year 2 because of the fact that he was instantly able to compete in week 1 with a full roster turnover. Like, it's insane how he did that. And then going now into week 2 and he's 2-0 with a full complete new roster. That's
Yeah.
impressive. So these ADs and he's set the standard. Even though he's unique in who he is, he has set the standard. He has changed the scape of the view of the future of college football. And like Michigan just fired Mel Tucker. If you're listening tonight, they fired Mel Tucker, Michigan State.
Yep.
That is a job that someone will want. It is a good position to be in. Like they get their right guy, but he's going to be probably on a very short leash. But if Michigan State has the money to fire him after they gave him that long extension, they have the money to bring someone into. So we'll see how that breaks out, but
I
that
think
shakes
you're.
out.
I think you're also going to see coaches not get these long extensions like
Mm-hmm. Not
Jimbo
anymore.
and Mel Tucker. And I think your first contract's going to be probably a 3-year contract. I don't see any more fives if and because they're going to say, look what Dion's doing at little old Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yeah.
you're Michigan State playing big boy football up here. Why should we do this if he can
Yeah.
do that over there in Colorado? With the
Exactly.
facility comparisons and all that. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a sizzling hot take. That is pretty accurate.
Yeah. I like it though. I really do
Hmm.
because it's it become it becomes I mean, obviously we joke around, NFL is, what have you done for me lately league because of the money involved with it. Well, there's just as much money involved in NCAA. It might as well be a professional league too. How we're viewing it with the nil and stuff. So I'm all for it. If these coaches are going to get paid that much money to come in for 3 years, they need to go ahead and prove their worth. And Dion's
Speak.
He's breaking barriers.
Well, speaking of like NFL and NIL, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. But did you see what Caleb Williams' dad came out and said? Basically saying it said,
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
"Hey, if we don't like where he's going to go at number one, he'll just go back to college and make plenty of money. No worries, we'll go the next year." And
just that
I'm
blanket
not,
knowing that he can do it. I'm not
I'm,
mad at it.
I'm not mad at it at all. Go for it, dude. Who wants to play in Arizona?
I don't.
Come on, no, nobody does.
No, he's smart.
Organization's awful.
He's a smart guy. He I can say he gets like it's that blanket of I can sit back and still make money.
Yep.
And like he does a lot. He has a foundation, the Caleb Cares Foundation. So he's actually doing a lot too in the community as well. So like it's not like he's not gonna I think if he does to sit out, it even makes his legendary status grow even higher. Like
Yeah.
as the guy who
Yeah.
actually did it. Because no one's really held out ever. Kinda.
I
So
mean, Bo Jackson kind of did, but that's a different situation. He was still playing pro baseball, so I mean, a little
yeah.
different.
Yeah, a little
But
different.
but
In
he
this
did, but he
era.
did
This
he yeah, correct. He did hold out in the
yeah.
NFL though. I mean, that's the first player that comes to mind. Obviously, Auburn fan
Mhm.
homer over here, but yeah,
Well, us as fans, I don't want to see Caleb Williams get drafted into a dump. I want to see the kid
yeah,
play. I want to see the kid play at the highest level for championships. Like I don't want to see that. I don't want to wait to see him play. I want to see him, get in the right situation and go now. So,
yep.
but yeah, it was definitely a good weekend for sure for football. Um, we even talked about the Texas Bama game. Uh,
I
first
know.
reaction for me is I don't want to say it, but Texas back. Uh,
Maybe,
that
maybe.
O line, that O line, that
Listen,
D line look back, baby. They look
listen.
good.
I gotta give our listeners a little secret.
Go
So
ahead.
if you go back a few episodes when we did our SEC predictions, I actually had Bama losing to Texas, but I had to pick Bama to put the reverse jinx on them. Because if I would have picked Texas, freaking Bama would have won, and I would have been so mad. So just so you all know, I
All right.
didn't really change my pick, but I did. It's
You had
officially, I
to
did
put the
officially pick Texas, or I did officially pick Bama, but there was a reason behind it because the reverse jinx works every time.
so you were playing chess while everyone
Dude,
else was playing checkers. I
4D
love it.
chess, man. Because if I would have
4D.
picked Texas, there's no way Texas wins. Dude, it's obviously all based on me.
That's such an Auburn fan thing to do, but it worked. Congratulations. I
Dude,
mean, and if we have Auburn listeners here, you're probably laughing right now because
because
you
they
know
did the
exactly
same thing.
they did the same thing.
There's
And
so many.
Bama, check.
There's so many Auburn fans on Twitter. Like, I took Bama at 7.5. Wink, wink. I'm like,
Wink,
yeah,
wink.
you actually did.
Go roll
That's
Tide. Wink, wink. Yeah,
but that's the
it's
thing.
so funny.
I didn't put any money on it. If I would have put money on Bama winning or whatever, it would have been the complete opposite. It would have been. I would have been so mad in
Yeah,
another
it'd
way.
be
So
yeah when you actually put money down. Oh,
yeah,
it's so freaking funny. Yeah, no, that game to finally see Texas play to the potential they should be playing at,
correct.
it was nice to see. As a fan of the sport, it was nice to see the burnt orange and white not go into a situation like Tuscaloosa and not bat down. They knew they had the same caliber players skill set. They knew they had the same caliber players on the O line. They knew they had a better quarterback and they knew had a better coaching staff. They walked into
Hmm.
there and said, "This is my house." They said they had a game plan, and their game plan was Milrow try to throw the ball.
Yep.
That's it. Go ahead, dude. And look what happened. It was bad. It was really bad.
Well, dude, let's look at the quarterbacks that have beaten Bama
Yeah.
in Tuscaloosa, right? Over Saban's tenure. You got Cam Newton,
Mm-hmm.
you've got Johnny Manziel,
Johnny
you've
Manziel,
got
Cam Newton.
what's his name from Ole Miss? Good Lord, I can't think of his name. And there's one out. There's definitely one
When
I
Freeze was
missed.
there.
Yeah, when Freeze was there. Can't think of his name, but it's okay.
Was it the Samoan kid, or
No,
was it
no,
before
it's
him? It was before him.
before him. Is when
Yeah,
they beat Bama back to back years.
back to back. Yeah,
Either way, the formula all remains the same, and I think Quinn has the same thing. You got to be a cocky quarterback to go into Tuscaloosa and win. You got to
Yeah,
have a
you gotta have
cocky
some.
or some swagger or something.
Mhm.
All the quarterbacks that have gone into Tuscaloosa and won all had that same little formula about them, or
Yeah,
beaten Saban or whatever you want to, however you want to say it.
some type of yeah.
But yeah, you got to have some type of swagger to you or some type of cockiness to you, and they
Yeah.
all have had it.
It's just
I
that
think it was
confidence.
is it Chad Kelly
Chad Kelly, yeah, it was Chad Kelly
from Ole Miss? Yeah.
from Ole Miss, yeah.
So
He definitely walked around with a little chip. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, no.
so
Which
they
is
all have the
yeah, you're
same thing
right
in
though.
common.
That's the formula. I mean, Tuscaloosa is a very tough place to play, but if you do have the quarterback proving to the other guys that are around him that are watching him, going, "Oh, this guy's special. This atmosphere ain't bothering
Yeah.
this guy. I could roll behind this guy." Like you
Yep.
said, you mentioned these four or five guys. It's true. It's true. The team will rally behind a guy like that. And Quinn, he had some passes that were just on point, and
Dude, next
he
level Hogwarts stuff. I mean, he was a
yeah,
wizard out there.
he was wizarding the ball, like, he was just expono touchdown, expono first down. He was killing it,
Yeah.
and Bama didn't have an answer. Their DBs were exposed again.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year in the Tennessee game, huge exposure. And then, thinking, okay, maybe another year with experience. They were getting beat off the line. They were blowing coverages left and right. Um, to the running game. They couldn't once Texas had a pretty much grip on that game, their O line just took over.
Oh yeah.
Their O line said, "Put on my back," and we got this, and they just started just bulldozing holes. To the point where like, okay, all right, Texas, this is what you're gonna look like coming into the SEC next year. You actually might be able to compete right away. Um,
Yeah.
but that O line was so young last year. They're all just sophomores. So, like, they're gonna be crazy good next year, that O-line, with Arch coming in for next year because Quinn's obviously he's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was a staple game for him. He honestly can put his pads up now and still be drafted pretty well.
Yeah.
But I give my attaboy though to the coach Stark and his staff for a
Yeah. For
phenomenal
sure.
game plan in that game and not playing to lose. A lot of coaches go into Tuscaloosa with a lead and they kind of just sit on it. They didn't sit on it. They played to win that game no matter what. So that was my take on that one. Uh, the other big games of the week that we did talk about were Texas A&M, Miami. That was just a big question mark game.
Yeah.
Huge question mark game because it's like, what does Texas A&M have? Like you look at on paper, both rosters are very well equal, but it did not look equal at all in that game. It did not.
Yeah.
It did not.
I, I'm not really that disappointed in Robert Patrick Petrino. Um, Not as disappointed in him as I am the defense coordinator. I think it's Durkin. Just
Durkin, yep.
getting absolutely torched, man.
There's no way Tyler Van Dyke's throws for 400 with 5 touchdown
No,
passes
no. He may not do
against
that
an
again this season.
SEC. Oh my God, I was like, every time I would turn the game over because there's so many on at that 3 o'clock timeline. Every time I turned the game over, a Miami dude was streaking down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on
I've
down in College Station.
I'd tell you what's going on. Jimbo's gonna get fired. That's what's gonna go on
Yeah,
because
well, that's
you're
$97
not
million
fixing those woes.
buyout.
They're not fixing those woes. Those are
No.
the things that Miami exposed will be things that they're weak on.
Yep.
So, and like they look decent on offense, but special teams look bad. They looked lethargic at times. It was it was definitely an eye-opening experience for week 2 football for them, and they gotta play a full SEC slate, and it ain't gonna get any easier at all because old like Mississippi State looks better than we thought they were. LSU looked really good after getting beat. I know they played Grambling, but they still look good.
Hmm.
Arkansas is a lot better than we think they're gonna be. West is ridiculous. So, A&M's got a long road ahead of them. But kudos to Miami though. They came to play, and Mario
Yeah.
Cristobal definitely proved to me, coaches that needed to be to prove something year two. He proved that his guys, his especially his defensive line, they're legit. And
Yeah,
I do like it because it brings parity to the ACC now. Now I can
that's true.
expect now. So now I'm expecting Miami to come in every game when they play now to either win or compete at a high level. And I'm excited now for that Florida State Miami game in November
Correct. It'll be a good one.
because it's going to be a good one because Miami plays Clemson in Miami. And the
Yeah.
way I saw things right now, that looks like a Miami win. So,
Yeah, I have a little something
yeah, go ahead.
for any of our A&M listeners, and if Coach O happens to be in the building, we might get his thoughts on it too. But if not, it's okay. But here's Fisher's buyout amounts if fired on December 31st or earlier of that year. So obviously, 2022 were passed, but it would have been 85 million. 2023, so if he's fired before December 31st, 76 million. 24, 67 million. 26, 48.7 million. 27, 39.2 million. 2028, 29.5. 2029, 19.8. And 2030, $9.9 million for his buyout.
Uh,
And that's
oh,
having to wait till December 31st,
31st.
where you're
Yeah.
not, you may not find the best option if you wait that late, as we've seen in the past. So,
That
yeah,
definitely puts their athletic director in a pickle. But if I was Jimbo and if Coach O were to give him some advice, it would sound something like this. That phone call, I think it would be ring, ring, ring. Hey, it's Coach O. And then Jimbo's like, "Hey, Coach O, it's Jimbo Fisher out here. I'm just wondering if I need some advice. I'm looking at this contract, and everything's like this, and they're gonna pay me out pretty good, but I gotta get next thing I gotta go do this and this and that. How much they gonna give you? Yeah, before December 34th. Oh, they're gonna give me 70 something million. Take the money, bomb the program. Take the money, take it. Come retire with me. We can coach high school football. It'll be fun. Retire.
walk out that
Thanks.
door.
Walk out the door. How fast you need me to get out of here?
Oh
Take the
man,
money,
it'll
Jimbo.
it'll
Take the
never
money,
get
big
old.
dog. Take the money,
It'll,
Jim. Take the money,
yeah,
bud. Um, I can see. Yeah, 8-4 kind of looks like a pipe dream now, from what I saw. Seven and
just
six.
saying, the
Yeah,
week
seven and
four
five.
Auburn, the Auburn Texas A&M week 4 is going to tell us a lot about both programs. The difference is one's trajectory is just starting
Is up.
off. The other one's
Stock
on
up.
that plateau. If they
Stock
lose
down.
that game,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to keep him around if you lose him to first year Hugh Freeze. I'm just saying.
Technically not first year in SEC view freeze, but okay.
True, true, true.
It's
That's fair. First
okay.
year at
Okay.
Auburn.
It's first year at Auburn, Hugh Freeze. No, man. That segues us into the stock up or stock down segment. Uh, so stock down definitely Texas A&M from what we saw. I will
Correct.
say, from the AP poll that came out, um, we can go ahead and share the screen for you guys, our YouTubers. You guys like seeing those visuals, so we're going to share that screen. We have this week's AP poll, even though it makes no difference. The polls don't matter until October anyway. Stock up, stock down, right? Texas A&M stock down from what we saw. Miami stock up for sure. Auburn stock up. They had to go out west. I know it was a very, very low scoring game for all these fans. You have to think these are college kids. They started at 10:30 a.m. their time or 9:30 their time, right? Y'all are Central Time Zone, right? Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn's. It should have
Yeah,
been 9:30. Yeah,
get a
9:30
9:30
p.m.
kickoff.
Yeah.
That is a long way to go, and that's not an easy place to play in Cal.
Mm-mm.
Um. So kudos to the coaches getting the win, but their stock is up. They proved in that game, to me, their defense can back out that offense once it, with turnovers and things like that. The offense is going to click eventually. It's a new offense, so they're going to get there eventually. But that defense looked smothering. Cal's on a bad team. Cal's going to be a pretty decent team in the middle of the road, Pac-12. So it was a good road test for sure, and so their stock is definitely up. Another team that stocks continues to rise for me, Utah. Utah sitting at
Yeah.
12. They beat the poop out of Florida week 1, and then they had to go to the road to play Baylor in Waco after Baylor had already lost at home. So playing a team that already lost, you're expecting their best the next week because they already lost. And so and that's what happened. Baylor played them very well, but they played without Cam Rising and they were still able to overcome the road test. And so once again, they're sitting right outside the top 10 because the top 10 is definitely top heavy right now. But I can see them sneaking their way up in there. They do got to play USC. They still got to play Oregon. They still got to play Washington. But do not sleep on these guys at all. Uh, Teams that stocks are rising. Washington State. They were a 9-win team last year. They returned everybody, and everybody, because the Pac-12 is so top heavy, no one's really giving them the time of day. Them and Oregon State. Oregon State sitting at 16. They won 10 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
So those two teams, one huge chip on their shoulder because the Pac-12 pretty much denied them, or not denied them. The conferences said no, we don't want you. So they have like that bastard child syndrome.
Yeah.
And so, like, they have a whole lot to prove. So their stock ticker is rising for me, and I feel like there's a bunch of upsets coming because they're pissed off. Like
Yeah.
these other schools are getting this free ticket to go to these bigger programs. These two are holding the freaking torches in the Pac-2, and they're pissed and their fan bases are loyal and they're ready to just be the big upsetter, especially because this is supposed to be the big year for the Pac-12 with Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. and Will Kelly. They want to do is ruin their chances at the playoffs. And
Play that
these teams,
spoiler.
if you want to be the spoiler, this is the ultimate spoiler. These two right here, and they play all those teams, and I love it, and I'm here for it. My second, my last stock is Iowa. I'm
Okay.
loving Iowa football, man. We talked about it last week. I did not get my over with Iowa State. It was 36.5. It got to 33. But Iowa did most of the scoring. And I feel like Iowa, their defense is a top 15 defense in the nation, and their offense just needs to be a top 30 in the nation. They're gonna give some people problems. And they're going to stay in this top 25. I feel like the rest of the season, they have a pretty easy home schedule, and their away schedule it's manageable for them. So, what's your? I mean, I keep talking, but Jake, any other stock up, stock downs that you're just really point out to you from the
Yeah,
AP poll?
I have two stock ups and two stock downs, but I do have a quick thing on Iowa. How
Go
many
ahead.
of their players are listening to the back porch putting in bets before the games?
Uh,
Uh,
Not enough.
I'm
Clearly,
just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, my
if anything,
first
use a burner. Use a burner.
right, right. My
Yeah,
first stock up is going to be Oregon because everybody
that's a good one.
that wanted a hot take last week in the sports world picked Texas Tech to win, and they said Oregon has to beat Texas Tech in order to be legit. Well, they beat Texas Tech, and now we're
They sure
sitting
do.
here
Hmm.
wondering, they wondered, can they go on the road to a hostile environment that's not Pac-12? Yes,
That
they
an easy
can.
game.
They
That wasn't
they
an easy
did.
game for them.
No,
Hmm.
no, and they had a backdoor cover, which we'll get into all that kind of stuff later. But your stock is definitely up. My
Yeah.
second stock up is going to be for Texas Longhorns. We already went over all the reasons why their stock is and should be up, but that brings me to my first stock down, and that's Nick Saban.
Mm,
He was so soft in his post-game press conference. People are wondering if this is his farewell tour. I don't know if you heard it, Nate,
mm-mm. Tell
but
me about it.
he sat there. His closing remarks said, "I just want to sit here and just let you know I'm super thankful, and it's such a blessing to be able to coach here at University of Alabama in front of the greatest
Mm?
fans ever. We'd have the best
Mm,
fans ever. It's just a pleasure to be able to coach here. What?
Ruh-roh.
Who body snatched you, or
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
getting ready to dip out after this year?
Uh,
Really strange. When you get a chance to listen to it, you got to check it out. It was
was he
very
high on Little
not,
Debbie's?
I
What's
don't know,
what's going
very
on
not Nick
here?
Saban like,
That's
but that
very not character
yeah,
like.
not at
Yeah.
all. It was so
Yeah.
strange. And then my other stock down, and it's not the most stock downy ever, but Ole Miss, man, what are you doing? Like, just, I know they won and they won
They did
convincing,
win.
but dude, you're playing in Tulane and you can't, and you're supposed to be this offensive genius, and you can't put up. Well, I think they put up 17 points in the first half. Come on, Lane. Come
It
on,
was
Lane.
17 and like 10 or 3 or it was close. It was 17
Yeah.
something in the first half.
So that's of
And
course
then
they still
Tulane
won
made
and
a
won big, but
and Tulane without their starting quarterback came back, and it was
correct.
a 7, 8 point game until they had to put it away.
Yep. So that's my
So
two. That's my stocks up, stocks down for this week.
those are good. I mean, I'm looking at the AP, man. It's just loaded with just there's so much more. I'm looking at this 1 through 25, and you guys are on YouTube. You're seeing it too. This 1 through 25, anybody in any day can beat each other. From what I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing, even from what I'm seeing, besides Michigan, I think Michigan's a unanimous to me one number one. They're just loaded. They're just hosses, big dudes, freak athletes everywhere. JJ McCarthy is playing great as a quarterback. There's a huge gap between them and Georgia. After watching Georgia play 2 weeks in a row against Cupcakes, they just don't look like they should have looked. And a lot of it is, the Georgia fans, Bobo, Mike Bobo, he's there. He's so easy to predict. It's run, run, pass, run, run, pass. I'm like, well, then why'd you bring Bobo in?
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going from Monken to Bobo. And I said this in the beginning of the football year is Bobo, he's going to score a lot, but he's so predictable in his play calling. And that's gonna be huge analytically coming in the midseason in the SEC. So I don't care if you got Bowers or anybody or whatever. What made Todd Monken so well at play calling is he had a trusted quarterback where he can call those plays. But I'm pretty sure half of them plays were audible because Bennett was such a Stetson's a good guy watching the film and understanding
Yeah.
where the ball goes. So you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't got the quarterback and the scheme to run it, I mean, it doesn't matter. So we'll see. They play South Carolina this week, and this is a South Carolina team that was fully embarrassed. We all know, and they're all South Carolina likes doing is going to Athens and beat Athens and beat Georgia. I've seen it multiple times in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. It's one of those weird things. It's where like they don't care, they don't fear Athens, and they just go in there as underdog all the time and beat them. So they might be on my upset alert this week. So, but now there's so much football to play, and you look at it and you're like, oh my god, like this is going to be a really exciting year.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much balance in the sport now because of the transfer portal. Like each team has beasts on each team, freaks on each team. So I'm excited for it for sure. I'm super excited. Um, let's get into, we talked about, a lot of things, but what makes the Overs Club is we give you guys weekly, plays to play.
Yep.
So let's get into some of those, Jake, because I think we had another phenomenal week when
Oh,
it
we
comes.
had ourselves a week.
I'm pretty sure we did. Let me pull those up right now. So these are our porch plays. If you are listening to or watching on YouTube, every week we throw out our plays of the week. If you can see, let me zoom in a little bit on our Instagram page, and Jake puts them on our TikTok as well. Um, how it is we give 3 against the spread picks, 1 lock of the week, and 1 over of the week. Because hey, why not? We're the overs club. That's what we like doing. So we're gonna go over our results on our week. Last week, uh, with Scott's big board, we were 15 and no, we were 15-6, something like that, which is crazy for a bunch of amateurs, I would say. Um, so this is we have Scott's back porch picks. Scott right now is in Cleveland. He went to the Browns game this weekend, so he'll be back later this week on our on his NFL show that he has on the porch, and then also at our Pick'em show, I'm sure. So Scott picked his lock of the week was Cincinnati. He said Emory Jones is the real deal, and Scott was correct. Cincinnati didn't just cover, but they blew out uh, whoever they played. They beat them pretty good. Um, Spread play Notre Dame 7.5. Did they cover in that
Oh
one? I
yeah.
think they did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Colorado covered. Texas covered. So Scott right now is 4-0, and then his over of the week was pretty much everyone's. We all bagged the Auburn Cal thing.
It had
So
so much promise.
we had so much promise in that one, but that one
uh,
definitely failed. So 4-1, man, that's freaking great. 4-1 for Scott on the porch. Good weekend for Scott. Here's my plays. Lock of the week, 6.5. Did Auburn? They won was it 14-10?
yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely not 6.5 for me on the lock. Um, But my spread play, I did missed on Wisconsin. I thought it was a tough game anyway, going out west to play in Pullman, and it definitely surprised me. Washington State smacked up that Wisconsin team pretty good, and that's a good Wisconsin team. I'm not taking anything from that. What I'm taking from this is that Washington State's legit. They were able to stop that running game and keep Wisconsin uncomfortable in that game. So Mississippi State, they won in overtime, but it wasn't by 9, right? It was only 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won in
Yeah.
overtime. So yeah, I'm 0-3 right now. And then Texas Tech lost. They didn't cover, right? Because of that interception.
Correct.
Yeah. Damn, it was a bad week for me. I'm 0-5. 0-5 on the back porch. Oh geez. Oh man. 1-4 to 1 to 0-5. Ah.
We have those weeks, man.
We have those weeks. It's okay though. All right, Jake. Your Utah -6.5. That was a
Yep.
cover, correct?
Yeah, yeah, lock.
Colorado covered.
Lock.
Notre well, you're 4-1 because you also had Auburn as your
Had
over of the
so
week.
much promise.
It did. It really did.
Good lord, that was just awful.
If y'all kick me off the porch, we would have a really good record right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that because I
Uh,
normally have terrible against the spread pick. So this was a one off where I was 4-1 and not
yeah, this is
two and three.
I rarely go 0-5, so this is I'll make it up, guys. And then we have Ryan. That's why we have Ryan. Fading Nittany Lion. Ryan had 54.5. That was definitely an over. That was a
Mm-hmm.
good pick. Spread play UNLV. They covered in that Michigan game, didn't they?
I believe they did. Hold on, I got it right here. Hold on, I'm
Yeah,
looking.
pull it up. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Michigan, where are you at?
Yeah, I believe they did cover.
35-7 was the final. So yes, they covered.
Good call, Ryan. Look at Ryan coming to play. Wow, Ryan. We don't have to fade you this week. A&M did not cover. So, but the App State game, that was like 80 total because it was like
Mm-hmm.
48-40. So he had
Yeah.
58.5 to own that one. And then the Florida State game, a Southern Miss, he had 52.5. What was the total on that one?
I'm trying to find Florida State.
I believe I think he went 4-1 because Florida State scored like 40 something points.
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch to top 25 because Florida
Okay.
easier to find Florida State.
Yeah, they look good. Florida State again, another stock up. Their
Yeah,
stock continues to rise.
66-13. So they covered on their
Yes.
own.
So they covered on their own. So he went 4-1. So y'all all went 4-1, and I went 0-5. So bad. I love it though. Hey, that's why we play the game. You know what I mean? That's why we play the game. Hey, altogether, 12-8. 12-8, phenomenal week for the back porch. We'll continue. That makes us in 2 weeks. We 15 plus 12. Doing math live on the camera. That's 27. 27 and 12. Dang.
Winning record.
That is freaking great, dude. That's over 60% again.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're listening to us, if you're over 60% in your picks, that's phenomenal. What is the recommendation, Jake?
Uh,
For picks when it comes to spreads and everything.
40%. You want to hit 40% of your bets. That's per professional gambler. If you can hit 40% of your bets because of the way they're weighted and stuff, you will more than likely be in the positive money wise. Depending on
Well,
how you're betting and what you're
depending on your bet,
betting.
yeah. If you're throwing
But
almond parlays and stuff, but if you're doing straight ups, like one straight up
correct.
every, so
Yeah,
that's great.
parlays are, yeah.
27 and 12 back porch, 2 weeks in the Porch Plays. That is great. I love it. I freaking love it. And then we have our pick'em as well. This week on our pick'em, we had our special guest, V2 Sports Network. Uh, V2 Sports Network covers all SEC coverage. It's a really good fan page. If you want to get behind a fan page, it's going to give you actually just balanced information across the board. Sometimes you can get their biased stuff, but they're really good. So check out V2 Sports Network if you're on Instagram or one of our podcasting. It's an Instagram page. I mean, if you're on YouTube, check them out. V2 Sports Network. That we had our pick'em, and our pick'em was pretty good. This is where you get your nickname, Mr. FPI Killer.
And
This
the FPI killer was back this week
it
after
have
just
an
forgetting to
abysmal
show up
first
week
week.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're listening and you did not check out week one, the FPI Killer brought his serial killer mask on. Uh, got a little cocky. He was humbled
it's true.
week one, but he
It's
came
true.
back firing. He came back firing this week. So we played the normally the ESPN picks. First week it was really bad, so we kind of played our own. But this week was good. We had some good picks this week, some good games that were good. Um, but the porch were split on some games. The but it was good to see. Scott went 6-2, which is phenomenal. You went
6-2.
5-3. No, you have two losses. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
Two. They're 6-2. That's right. You went 6-2. I
you
went
went six
six
and
and
two.
I went 6-2. Ryan went six
Ryan
and
six and
two.
two.
V2 went 6-2, and we all
FPI
beat
went
FPI
5-3.
at 5-3. And that is a great week for the back porch pick 'em. I'm excited to continue this streak. If you're playing along with us on our back porch challenge, it's the same games. So going into week 3, that you can still join, but at this point, you're gonna be way behind. So you're just having fun, really, at that point. But no, it was a phenomenal football weekend, man. And I can't wait to see what week 3 has in store. We have some big matchups coming up week 3. We have Tennessee, Florida coming up. Who do y'all play? Auburn?
Sanford, not Stanford, but Sanford out of
Stanford.
Birmingham, Alabama. So it's a money game for Sanford.
Yeah. Stanford.
But after that, we go to College Station to play A&M, so it should be fun. But Auburn will be going into that game 3-0, which is what
Yeah,
every
which
Auburn
is what you
fan
want. Yeah.
wanted. So because you get 3 quick wins, you lose a couple, you don't feel as bad when you're sitting at 4-3 or 4-2 or even 3-3. You don't feel quite as bad.
Absolutely. I'm with you, brother. All right. Pulling up to finish out the recap show. We're going to preview a couple little big matchups from the ESPN app. Coming in week 3, we have LSU at Mississippi State, Starkville at noon. That sounds like a trap.
It could be,
It could be if they don't
but
bring their
LSU
A
already
game.
lost. If LSU was undefeated right now, I would call it a trap. But I think we found out last year what happens
You
when
think
LSU loses. Dude, when they lost to Tennessee last year, everybody was like, "Oh, trap game coming up. They're gonna lose,"
That's
and they
true.
ran
That's
the
true.
dang table. So
You're right. You're right. Yeah, they already lost, so they got that. They'll come in. I think that'll be a good game.
yeah.
I think Will Rogers, and that offense are gonna be able to equal back and forth for a while, and I think maybe
Hmm.
LSU at the end of it will probably take over. But the next big game for me, I think, um, if you're watching on YouTube, we have the schedule up. The next big one, Kansas State, Missouri. That's
Could be
gonna
a
be a
very
real
good
good
one.
game, yeah, because Missouri looked really bad against Middle Tennessee, but they have a lot to
Hmm.
prove in this one. That's a noon game, so that's a good noon kickoff. Then we have Georgia Southern at Wisconsin. Hello,
I
watch out.
think our next big games are 3 o'clock or three
The three
thirty.
o'clock game, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we
because you
got
got
Georgia
the.
at 3, yeah, South Carolina, at Georgia at 3:30. That's gonna be
Hmm.
the CBS game? Oh, I thought they were doing ESPN. So,
Yeah, they're supposed to be. That's weird. There must have been a contract
must have been
thing there.
something, yeah.
But
Yep, so that
that
one
North Carolina Minnesota game. Ooh.
yeah, that's a sneaky good one at 3 o'clock on ESPN because Minnesota, when it comes to the trenches, are very solid, and defensively they're pretty good. So it's a how North Carolina looked defensively against App State. That's a really guys that might be on a sneaky good back porch play this
Hmm.
week for sure.
Yeah.
That's a really good one right there. Um, then we have what else we got?
There's not a ton. There's a lot of cupcakes this week before people get into
Wa-
conference play.
Washington versus Michigan State now that Mel Tucker's gone.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
No, that's gonna have to be
Tennessee, Florida, obviously,
Tennessee,
we
Florida's at
talked
7
about.
p.m. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be one. Tennessee opened up as a 8. They were 7 or 6. They opened up as an 8.5 uh favorite. So Vegas is seeing something we're not seeing. So, what else?
There's
We
not a
There's
lot
not a
of
lot. It's
big
just a lot of
games.
just a lot of
What's our
games.
pack? What's our
This
Pac-12 after dark looking like? Oh yeah,
I'll get to it. BYU at Arkansas.
yeah. That's what I was about to
That'll be
say.
decent. Georgia Tech at Ole Miss will probably be decent in the beginning. We have hey now, Wyoming's going to Texas now. Watch out now.
Hawaii's got to go to Oregon.
God, poor Hawaii. Hey man, they're
70,
getting a
80
lot of money.
points.
They're
Yeah,
getting a lot of
true.
money. Yeah. FAU, the Lily Taggarts over
Yeah,
the Clemsons. Uh-oh. No. TCU at Houston. That's a Big 12 game.
yeah. That one
That actually
might be pretty good.
that's actually pretty good when it comes to football, and that's on Fox at 8 p.m. Then we have, let's see, UTEP Arizona at 11 p.m. Week 3 is okay. If you're a college football fan, uh, just watch 1 or 2 games this week and hang out with the family and plan accordingly. That there's some
Yeah, if somebody
it's
invited you to a wedding or there's a
yeah,
funeral,
this is
this
the
might be
weekend
the
to go
week to
to it.
go.
Yeah, funeral, wedding, housewarming party,
Baby shower.
baby shower, whatever you need. This is the weekend to do it. There's some potential good games, but the slate is not like what it was last weekend. Now, when we get to week 4 and 5, changes. But
Yeah,
I would say this
quick.
is this is your weekend to get all the errands done, all the things you need to get done. If
Get
you're a
your
fan,
get your
get your
honeydew list
honeydew
done.
list exactly, get all that done. Really just be a great human for your family,
Yeah,
this weekend. Don't be, a selfish person who just wants to sit and watch football like us. Uh, yeah, do it this weekend. But no, there's like I said, I think honestly that Minnesota North Carolina game has the potential for sure.
it could be good. Yeah, row the boat maybe. I don't know. We'll have to
Row
see
the
where I'm feeling.
Oklahoma at Tulsa. That's probably
Yeah, I
gonna be
saw that.
70. That's gonna probably be 77-65.
Yeah, yeah, facts.
I love it. Well, guys, thank you for another phenomenal Jake, thanks for coming on the back porch. This has been a phenomenal week. A weekend, a recap show. I know we were supposed to go for 20 minutes and went for 50.
That's all good.
That's just what we do. We can talk all day here on the back porch. Guys, continue to like, follow, and subscribe to all of our platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, what else, fam? Anything else?
TikTok.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Our
Uh,
Instagram is blowing up. We are collaborating with other fan pages. I love working with these fan pages. It's really fun, especially because they don't do what we do when it comes to like suggesting like plays, betting plays. So like they get to dabble in it. And like SEC Capital, V2, Hokie
mhm.
Alert. There's a couple of other ones, Spears Nation. So these guys, thank you for continuing working with us and growing with us. Uh, I might be on a V2 week alive this week or not. I don't know. Um, but I'm excited. Yours just continues to grow. So continue like, following, subscribing. Hit those smash buttons, smash, smash, smash. Share with friends. Our YouTube, we have 86 subscribers. So thank you, subscribers on YouTube.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super excited to see that grow. Our shorts obviously are the ones that people like, but they are following and watching the show. So continue to follow and watch the show. I promise you, you will not be disappointed as the season continues, especially when we get near the playoff trackers and stuff like that. It's going to be really phenomenal. So, Jake, father of two, FPI Killer, it's been great. It's been fun.
Yes, sir. Catch you on the
Yes,
back
sir.
porch next time.
Yes, sir. Talk to you later, bud. Bye.
Later, man.